It has been more than 3 decades since the Bluestar operation happened. Just as rituals were steeped with newer levels of meaning during the lead up to the militant decades in the 80s or during the period of militancy, the aftermath of that violent phase is equally important in shaping the symbolic universe. One legacy of militancy that I would like to discuss is the positioning of the Sikh practice of sewa in the public sphere. Always an important part of the practice of being Sikh, a way of committing and expressing a belonging to the faith. In the 21st century and in the contemporary moment, sewa has acquired an additional meaning of recovery and restitution, of Sikhs and of Sikhism. Sewa is the opposite of militancy. It positions Sikhs and their organizations as givers, as people oriented to care, towards care, as caregivers. Within India, and indeed globally, sewa and care work has been important for ordinary believers to reflect back upon themselves and on the image of their community in the popular imagination. In a significant reinscription, rewriting, if you will, 21st century sewa givers see themselves as inhabiting zones that are outside of gurdwaras and certainly outside militant organizations or different, distanced from militant organizations. Such sewa organizations have been important sources for resolving the uncertain legacies of militancy that haunted Sikh believers. And it does seem to me that sewa performance is crucial to contemporary Sikhism, as important for those who receive the benefits of sewa as it is for those who give it. 21st century sewa is a deeply reflective stance on the past, a way of addressing the negative legacies of militancy and the active response of ordinary Sikhs in countering and countering the terrorist tag by doing sewa. And it's in that context that I think we need to place the kind of humanitarian support and the sewa organizations of the 21st century that we are seeing today. Because across the globe, Sikh organizations have served langar at sites of disaster and have become the recognizable face of Sikh philanthropy and of the ritual of Sikh sewa. For example, after the devastating earthquake in 2015 in Nepal destroyed large parts of Kathmandu, Sikhs served langar continuously for 2 months. The international Sikh organization Khalsa Aid mobilized medical aid and other relief. Sewa and langar together form a pair, and they underline the Sikh philanthropic impulse in a modern parlance which can be understood as outreach agendas of a distinct bounded community of believers. And indeed, when in Australia, when devastating fires destroyed so much of community life, Sikhs came forward to, wearing their turbans, came forward to serve langar and provide aid, and in a sense convey to those who came to partake of food who they were. They conveyed, in a sense, their community identity as caregivers and servers at a time of disaster and conflict through sewa, through care. However, not all religion is arcane, nor is it frozen in time. Religion is very responsive to modern times. Religions simultaneously encompass and respond to the challenge of evoking religious feeling, even beyond the rituals and beyond sacred spaces like shrines. The aura of a shrine and the sacred in a shrine is indisputable. So the aura of sacred in the shrine, there's no contest. But it's also vigorously remembered in myriad practices of devotees in their everyday observances. Symbols don't remain static either. They respond, for example, to prevailing fashions. The divine is purchased in bazaars as religious souvenirs. The sacred is accommodated in the mundane spaces of domesticity in your home. Apart from modifications of turbans, which I have discussed through the wearing of the baseball cap or keeping the kesh in a ponytail, the bracelet, the kada, one of the 5 symbols of Sikhism, is often worn as a piece of jewelry, studded with gems. Statues of the warrior saint Baba Deep Singh might share space with a child's soft toy, dressed up as a baby warrior. So, in their sales pitch, 21st century property brokers often promote little windowless storeroom type spaces in part of the architecture of an apartment as a place set apart for a scripture. They're finely attuned to the evidence of their clients' religion and actually promote this whole question of the home as a religious space. So what you see before you is these small car ornaments that are placed on dashboards of cars of Baba Deep Singh and gurus, and just in the corner of the slide is the jeweled kada that is worn. Here in the other slide, you see Baba Deep Singh, the warrior saint, next to what he is promoting as the warrior, a little soft toy that a child will play with, dressed up as a Khalsa warrior. So these are ways in which religion, in a sense, enters different spheres beyond the shrine to convey, to evoke, to develop, to shore up the feeling of faith. So the scriptural, the orthodox, the emotional, the incongruent are all dimensions of lived religions. To understand Sikhism in the 21st century, any analysis must address the dramatic historical, the political, and the social transformations that have shaped Sikhism. Analysis must also acknowledge and must also understand the sphere of sentiment, moving between critical event and the everyday is, it seems to me, a framework to locate Sikhism in today's world. And I think today, more than any other time, the sacred matters.